whispering soft words away from Mama's ears in the kitchen, where they left cakes and pies and chicken and sandwiches on the table. Explosives. And they still don't know nothing. Nothing to bury, I heard one of the whisperers say. My mama wore black, like any day now we'd be going to a cemetery. Clarice kept up her bossing, telling me and Annette to fetch this or get that or give Mama room to breathe when I tried to sit close to her and hold her hand and make her remember who I was. Reverend Maynard came over and prayed with Mama every day, and he might as well have been praying by himself. Mama sat with her head down, looking at her lap like it was the first time she'd seen it. Finally, my mama's sisters, Aunt Dorcas and Aunt Bethel, came from Washington, D.C., and all of a sudden, they were like our mama's mama. They got her up off the couch and had Clarice run some bath water. "Hot as you can get it," they told her. When our mama started her moaning and crying, they held her tight, with her face in their necks, letting her tears run down their dresses, shushing her with, "Come on, Cecilia," and rocking her and rubbing her back like she was a little baby. "Why does Mama have to be quiet if she wants to cry?" I whispered to Annette when they were busy shushing. "Think they're afraid she'll start falling out. You know how the ladies in church do when they get the spirit?" Annette whispered back. That made sense to me, but Mama didn't look like the church ladies with their hands up in the air and their heads thrown back, praising. Mama looked like she even forgot who God was. Next thing I knew, my aunts moved me out of my room while they moved in. Clarice is 14 years old, Annette 13, but the way they looked when I showed up at their bedroom door with my blanket and pillow from my bed, you'd have thought they had to share a room with a newborn baby instead of their 9-year-old brother. Aunt Dorcas said, "It's just till Mama gets better," I told them. Annette made room in her bed for me, but not before Clarice rolled her eyes. Our aunts got our Mama eating and talking just a little bit again. One thing I know is, Clarice didn't get her bossiness from our Mama, but she sure got it from our aunts. It's like they bossed our Mama back to herself again, and that was all I needed. When I got up early one morning while everyone was still sleeping, I walked out to the front room and I saw Mama sitting up on the couch. "Clem," she said so soft I could barely hear her. I walked over, making sure that was my Mama talking, and stared hard at her puffy face. She almost looked like the Mama before the soldiers knocked on our door weeks ago. She reached out and pulled me onto her lap, and even though I was too big to be sitting on anybody's lap, I let her hold me tight, and I rubbed her back, just like I saw my aunts do. Later, I found out it wasn't just my daddy who was killed in that explosion in San Francisco. There were 320 other Navy men, too. The Port Chicago disaster, they called it. But didn't nobody bother to count the 4 of us, Clarice, Annette, Mama, and me, here in Chicago, because that explosion that happened 2,341 miles away just about ripped us apart, too. Before my daddy left this earth, I never thought much about him, and after he left, he was all I could think about. Reverend Maynard held a service at Emmanuel Baptist Church for my daddy the first Sunday in August, same day as communion. They had every one of my daddy's pictures from our apartment up in front of the church on the pulpit, where the casket would have been, if we had one. Reverend Maynard preaches so long on Sunday, Mama has to poke me with her elbow to keep me awake, but this Sunday, I wondered if he finally ran out of things to say, because it seemed like bravery and honor and country were the only words he knew. We sat in the front row, where the deacons usually sit, and even though it was hot, Mama, Clarice, and Annette wore hats and gloves with their black dresses. The lace from Mama's gloves scratched me when I held onto her hand, but I didn't let go. After Reverend Maynard finished talking about what a good man our daddy was, and after all the amens and God bless hims from everyone in the pews behind us, and after the choir sang, "Soon and very soon we are going to see the King. Hallelujah, hallelujah, we're going to see the King," 2 soldiers walked up front and stood in front of us. They folded up a flag into a triangle and handed it to Mama. Mama didn't reach for it like she was supposed to, but Clarice did and nodded to thank them. They saluted us and turned and walked back down the aisle and out the church doors. Mama didn't do any more falling out like she did that first day we heard about the explosion.